Hello, and welcome to Sarah and Paul Conversation. In today's episode, Sarah and Paul are going to talk about four very important words in English: can, could, must, and might. These little words come up every single day, but a lot of learners are not sure when to use them. Don't worry, after this conversation, everything is going to feel much clearer. No grammar rules, no stress, just real, natural English. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the conversation. Here we go.
Hey, welcome back to Sarah and Paul Conversation. So happy you're here with us again today.
Yes, hello everyone. You know, we always say this, but it's true. Every time we record, we think about all of you listening. Maybe you're on your way to work. Maybe you're at home relaxing. Maybe you're doing something around the house. Wherever you are, we're really glad you're here. And if this is your first time, welcome. This channel is all about real, everyday English. Not complicated, not stressful, just natural, friendly conversation that helps you grow.
Exactly. So if you're enjoying what we do, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who's learning English too. It really makes a difference. It really does. Okay, so Paul, today's topic. Tell everyone what we're talking about.
Today we're talking about four little words that cause a lot of confusion for English learners. And I mean a lot.
Oh yes, these words are so small but so important. Which ones are we talking about?
We're talking about can, could, must, and might.
Okay, and I already know what some of our listeners are thinking. They're thinking, I've heard these words 100 times, but I'm still not sure when to use them.
Exactly, and that feeling is so normal. These words are called modal verbs, but we're not going to use that word today. We're just going to talk about them naturally, like real people do.
Perfect. So let's start with the first one, can. Paul, when do we use can?
Can is probably the one most learners know first. We use it when we talk about ability. What you are able to do, for example, I can swim, she can speak 3 languages, they can fix computers.
Right. It's about what someone is able to do, what's possible for them.
Exactly, but can is also used for something else, options, choices, like when someone says you can take the bus or you can walk. Both are possible, both are available.
Oh, that's a great point. So can is not just about personal ability. It's also about what's available, what's allowed, what's possible in a situation.
Yes, for example, you can pay by card here. That means it's possible, it's allowed. The option exists. I love that. So can covers 2 things. What a person is able to do and what options are available. Sarah, give us a few more examples.
Sure. I can cook Italian food really well. That's ability. It's something I know how to do. Or you can sit anywhere you like. That's an option. You have freedom to choose.
Beautiful. And can is also used in questions, right?
Yes. Can I help you? Can we leave early today? Can she join the meeting? These are all very natural, everyday questions.
And they sound friendly, not too formal, not too stiff, just natural.
Exactly. Can is very direct, very clear, and most of the time, very comfortable to use in conversation. Now, Paul, let's move to the second word, could.
Could. Oh, this one is interesting because could is connected to can, but it feels different.
It does feel different. Could is softer, more polite, more gentle. When you use could, you sound less direct, and that's actually a good thing in many situations.
Right. For example, can you open the window sounds fine, but could you open the window sounds a little more polite. a little more considerate.
And in English, especially in British English, being polite in small ways really matters. People notice it. They appreciate it.
So could is like can, but with better manners.
Yes, exactly. Could is can with better manners. I love that. But could also does something else. It's used for soft questions, gentle suggestions, things that are not certain.
Like when you're not sure if something is possible.
Exactly. You might say, could we meet on Friday? That's softer than can we meet on Friday. It leaves more space for the other person to say no comfortably.
That's such an important point. In English, giving the other person space to say no without feeling bad is very natural, very common.
And could helps you do that. It makes your question feel less like a demand and more like a genuine question.
Could you help me with this? Could I have a moment of your time? Could we talk later? All of these sound warm, considerate, natural.
And they work in so many situations. At work, with friends, with strangers, in shops, in offices.
Everywhere. Could is one of those words that just makes everything sound a little smoother, a little kinder.
Okay, so we have can for ability and options, and could for polite requests and soft questions. Now let's talk about must. And Paul, I have to say, must is the one that sometimes confuses people the most.
I think you're right, because must feels strong. It feels serious, and it is, but only in certain situations.
Exactly. So when do we use must?
We use must when something is necessary, when there is no other choice. When something is really important, maybe a rule, maybe a strong personal feeling, maybe something you absolutely have to do.
Like rules?
Yes, for example, you must wear a seatbelt. That's a rule. It's not optional. You must show your passport at the border. Again, necessary, required, no choice.
So must is about obligation, about things that are not optional.
Exactly, and it can also come from inside, from your own feelings, like, I must call my mother today. Nobody is forcing you, but you feel strongly that it's necessary, it's important to you.
Oh, that's a really good distinction. Must from rules, like laws or regulations, and must from inside, your own sense of what's right or necessary.
Yes. And must is also used when you're very sure about something, when you're almost certain. For example, she must be tired. She's been working all day.
Oh, interesting. So in that case, must is not about rules. It's about a strong conclusion. You're looking at the situation and you're saying, I'm almost certain this is true.
Exactly. He must be hungry. He hasn't eaten since this morning. They must be home. The lights are on. You're not guessing randomly. You have a reason. You have evidence.
So must has two sides, necessity and strong certainty.
Yes. And both are very useful in everyday conversation. Sarah, what about common mistakes with must?
Well, one thing learners sometimes do is use must in questions the same way they use can or could. But actually, in everyday English, we don't often say, must you do this? It sounds a little old-fashioned.
Right. In modern, everyday English, we usually say, do you have to instead? Do you have to go? Do you have to wear a uniform? That sounds much more natural.
But must is still perfect in statements. You must try this restaurant. You must see that film. I must remember to call them.
Exactly. And when someone says you must try this, it's actually very positive. It's enthusiastic. It means I'm strongly recommending this to you.
Oh, that's lovely. So must can also be warm and enthusiastic, not just strict and serious.
Absolutely, it all depends on the context, on the situation, on the tone of voice.
And that's true for all of these words, isn't it? Context is everything in English.
It really is. Okay, let's move to the last word. And this one is my personal favorite. Might.
Oh, might. Yes. Tell everyone why you love it so much.
Because might is honest. Might says, I'm not sure. Maybe yes, maybe no, and I think a lot of learners are afraid to sound uncertain. They think uncertainty sounds weak.
But it doesn't. In English, being honest about uncertainty sounds natural. It sounds real.
Exactly. Might is for possibility, for things that are not certain, for situations where you have an idea but you're not completely sure.
Like, I might go to the gym later. You're thinking about it. It's possible. But you haven't decided yet.
Yes, or she might be at home. You're not sure, you think it's possible, but you don't know for certain.
And might is softer than will. I will go to the gym sounds certain. I might go to the gym sounds honest. Maybe I will, maybe I won't.
And in real life, so many things are uncertain, so might is incredibly useful.
It really is. You use it all the time without even realizing it. It might rain today. He might call later. We might have time for coffee after the meeting.
All very natural, all very real, and all much better than saying nothing because you're not sure.
So, Paul, let's think about this from a learner's perspective, because I know a lot of people listening right now are thinking, okay, but how do I remember when to use which one?
That's such a good question, and I want to say something important first. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to get it right every single time.
That's so true. Even native speakers mix these up sometimes. Even native speakers pause and think.
So the goal is not perfection. The goal is communication. The goal is being understood. And these 4 words, can, could, must, might, they will help you communicate so much better.
Let's just go through them one more time. Very gently, very simply.
Can, for ability and options, I can drive. You can choose any seat. Can I help you?
Could, for polite requests and soft questions. Could you help me? Could we meet tomorrow? It's softer, it's kinder.
Must, for necessity and strong certainty. You must have a ticket. She must be exhausted. It's strong, it's serious, but it can also be warm. You must try this cake.
And might, for possibility and uncertainty. I might be late. It might snow tonight. We might need more time. Honest, natural, real.
I love that summary, and you know what I notice? These 4 words cover so much of everyday life. Ability, politeness, necessity, possibility. That's almost everything.
It really is. Think about a normal day. You wake up. I must get up early today. You look outside. It might rain. I should take an umbrella. You call a friend. Could we meet for lunch? You get to the cafe. Can I have a coffee, please?
Oh, that's beautiful. You just used all 4 in one morning routine.
And that's the point. These words are not grammar exercises. They are living, breathing parts of everyday English conversation.
So don't study them like rules on a page. Listen for them. Notice them when you hear them. And then, little by little, start using them yourself.
Start with can. It's the most comfortable. Use it when you talk about what you're able to do, or when you're asking for something simple.
Then try could. Next time you want to ask someone for something, try saying could instead of can. Notice how it feels. Notice how people respond.
And might. Start using it when you're not sure about something. Instead of saying nothing because you don't know, say I might. I'm not sure, but I might. That's honest. That's real.
And must use it when something really matters to you. I must remember this. I must try that. You must see this film. It adds energy. It adds feeling.
I love that. These words add feeling to your English. They show how certain you are, how polite you want to be, how open or how sure you feel. And that's what real communication is about, isn't it? Not just exchanging information, but expressing how you feel about that information.
Exactly. English is not just words, it's feeling, it's connection. And when you use these little words well, your English starts to feel alive.
That's so beautifully said, Paul. I think that's a perfect place to start wrapping up today.
Yes. So thank you truly for spending this time with us today. We know you have a busy life. We know learning a language takes time and energy, and we really appreciate that you choose to spend some of that time with us.
It means everything to us. Really.
And if today's episode helped you, even a little, please like the video, leave a comment. Tell us which word you find most difficult. Can, could, must, or might. We would love to know.
Subscribe to Sarah and Paul Conversation if you haven't already, and share this episode with someone who's learning English. You might just change their day.
See what I did there? I might just change their day.
Huh. Perfect. You used it naturally. That's exactly the point.
And remember, everyone, you are not bad at English. You are just getting better. Every single day, one word at a time, one conversation at a time.
Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye for now.